so excited. It's my turn. Welcome to the Pizza Bros podcast. This is Jenny, and this is episode 11, Indecent Exposure.
No, wait. It's episode 13.
Not
11.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got so excited. Episode 13, Indecent Exposure.
Dennis and Steve are once again working the lunch shift together. It's been busy, but it seems like money for the two has been a little tight lately. Lucky for them, there's a good delivery waiting to be taken.
I'm taking this order. The last guy stiffed me,
Complains Dennis. No way! I'm taking this order because you got him last time, objects Steve.
Excuse me, you're both wrong. I'm taking this order because I'm up next in rotation.
Jenny informs them. Steve frowns at Jenny. You really shouldn't take this order,
It's a $20 tip to deliver 2 pizzas. I'm taking it.
Jenny declares.
No, you really shouldn't. We call this guy Boxer Bob for a reason.
Dennis informs her. Jenny doesn't understand what they mean.
Why? Is he a prize fighter?
No. This guy literally opens the door wearing only his boxers every single time, says Steve. Dennis elaborates.
Steve and I actually take bets on what kind of underwear he'll be wearing that day. It's just underwear. I don't see what the big deal is.
Jenny says with a shrug.
What's this Boxer Bob order still doing here? Who's taking this?
Ed asks as he enters the room.
I am,
Says Jenny. Ed does a double take and responds.
No way. One of the guys has to take this. This has sexual harassment lawsuit written all over it.
Ed continues.
Debbie was very clear that if there are any more lawsuits from my store, that I'm getting demoted to Farnold. That position pays less and is even further away from my house. I'm not taking any chances.
What's the problem? It's just some dude in his boxers. It's not any worse than what guys wear to the pool.
Responds Jenny.
Look, it's different for guys and girls. I can't knowingly send you on a delivery to some mostly naked guy. It's my job to protect you from that kind of stuff,
Says Ed. Jenny laughs at Ed.
I'm not a little girl. I can take care of myself. Plus, if he tries anything, I'll hit him over the head with a pizza and kick him in the biscuits.
Ed, Dennis, and Steve all frown at the idea of being kicked in the biscuits. And reluctantly, Ed agrees to let her go anyway.
Fine. Take the delivery, but don't make me regret it.
Jenny grabs her delivery, puts it in a bag, and winks at the boys.
Okay, see ya.
She heads out the door and drives off. Ed thinks for a moment and comments.
Next time we should do some kind of contest or game or something fun to see who gets to take the good delivery.
Completely ignoring Ed, Steve and Dennis grab their deliveries and head out the door. A few minutes later, Ed hears someone come in the front door. He looks over and sees the woman of his dreams. 5'8", long blonde hair and bright blue eyes. He begins to fantasize about walking down the beach with her arm in arm. In this fantasy, of course, Ed is 50 pounds lighter and has a full head of hair. Ed snaps back and realizes that this supermodel of a woman is saying something to him. But he doesn't know what she is saying as he was so lost in his own fantasy.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
He asks as he stammers to get the words out. Ed blushes and can't look the woman directly in the eyes. So he looks away and down towards the ground as she speaks.
I'm Penny, your new health inspector, and I'm here for your quarterly county inspection.
She says.
We've had a few complaints about your food tasting like cigarettes. I'm going to look around for anything that could be the cause of that.
She continues. Ed still can't hear anything she says and just nods his head in agreement.
Whatever you need,
says Ed. Penny starts her inspection and points out the things that Ed needs to fix before her next visit.
These door seals are dirty,
Penny says.
Sure, no problem,
says Ed. Ed follows Penny into the refrigerator. She takes one look around.
There is personal food above the customer food. Throw it away.
In the prep area at the dish sink, she continues.
This sanitizer water isn't strong enough. Your dishes are still dirty. Clean them all again.
But Ed doesn't hear any of it. He leans his hand against the prep table and slips because he's been sweating so much. His forehead hits the table with a loud thunk. Alarmed, Penny asks,
Are you okay?
Totally fine,
Ed replies, trying to play it macho and manly. Penny leaves the dish area and heads to the back of the store. Finally, Steve returns to the store completely unaware of Penny's presence. He hears Ed's thunk and rushes in to help. What's going on?
Just the health inspector here to do the quarterly inspection,
Ed says nonchalantly. Steve leans over and whispers, do we need to change the dates on any of the containers?
No, we're fine, go away,
says Ed as he tries to push Steve into the other room. On the other side of the delivery area, Jenny has just pulled up in front of Boxer Bob's house and heads up to his door. She rings the doorbell and waits. Just as expected, out comes Boxer Bob wearing nothing but what appears to be Star Trek Deep Space 8 underwear.
Here's your pizzas,
Jenny says with a smile. Thanks. Where's Dennis? He's my usual driver. Is he sick or something? Boxer Bob asks.
Oh, no, it was my turn to take the delivery, so you got me instead,
she says with a smile. Jenny notices that Boxer Bob is wearing merch from her favorite sci-fi franchise.
Are those DS8 boxers? I love DS8. Totally the best of all the Star Trek series,
says Jenny with excitement. Boxer Bob agrees. Yes, I love DS8. You know that Dennis thinks that the younger generation series is better?
What? No way. Captain Piccadilly is so boring. Give me DS8 any day of the week. So, I have to ask though, what do you think about the newest series, Discoverer?
Jenny continues. Don't get me started on Discoverer. That show is the worst, complains Boxer Bob.
Right?
Agrees Jenny.
Those guys have like 30 seconds to be beamed away from a deadly situation where they're getting shot at or about to get eaten, but then they spend like 5 whole minutes discussing Cadet Tilly's emotional problems. It's like, hello, you're about to die. This is not the time to discuss your feelings of inadequacy from being a smart, overweight white lady,
Jenny says annoyed. I couldn't agree more, says Boxer Bob with a nod and a smile.
All right, I gotta get back to the store. I'll see you around,
says Jenny. She waves, smiles, and heads back to Pizza Bros. Back at the store, the health inspection continues and Ed follows Penny around like a lost puppy dog. Dennis arrives back from his delivery to see Steve still waiting.
Anything new?
Dennis asks. Not really. Health inspector's here, says Steve as he gestures to the back of the store.
Health inspector? Do we need to fudge the dates on anything?
Dennis asks. Nope. Ed said it's all good, says Steve.
Wanna go fold boxes?
Dennis asks. Sure. I got nothing else to do, says Steve with a shrug. As they round the corner to enter the box room, they both catch their first glance of Penny and are taken aback.
Whoa, is that the health inspector?
Asks Dennis. I guess so. Don't they usually look like Ed, but in their 50s? Responds a confused Steve.
Yeah, that's weird. Not only is the health inspector a girl, but she's a hot girl. What a weird time to be alive.
Dennis wonders aloud as he shakes his head. Steve notices Ed fawning over the health inspector and gets angry. We gotta do something about Ed. He's married. He shouldn't be drooling over some strange girl like that.
That's none of my business. I'm gonna stay out of it,
says Dennis. At that moment, the answer to Steve's conundrum has just returned to the store. Jenny enters the front door looking to pick a fight with Dennis. She throws down her bag and heads to the back of the store. Jenny finds Dennis and calls out to him.
I hear you like Captain Piccadilly. He's so boring. Don't you know that Captain Cisco is the best?
She rounds the corner and runs smack dab into Ed's chest.
What the?
She says aloud. Ed doesn't even notice her. Jenny sees Ed staring at Penny with big hearts in his eyes. And that's when Jenny does what she does best and blurts out exactly what's on her mind.
Ed, what's the big deal? Aren't you married? Isn't that just a little inappropriate?
Jenny yells as she scolds Ed. Ed turns completely bright red. He stammers and sweats profusely.
She's the health inspector. Yeah, the health inspector. Nothing weird's going on here,
he says, half-heartedly defending himself. Penny tears a piece of paper out of her clipboard and hands it to Ed.
I'll be back in 2 weeks. Make sure that all of these violations are fixed.
Ed watches Penny leave the store. After a moment of complete silence, he looks down at the written report. Ed realizes that he completely failed the county health inspection and he didn't even notice. Ed grabs his head in distress and exclaims,
Debbie's gonna kill me!
The end.
This is Dennis. Thank you for listening to the Pizza Bros podcast. I didn't quite get a chance to defend myself, but Jenny's wrong and I'm right. And we'll talk more about that later because Ed's giving me a dirty look and he wants me to make sure I say, please go visit therealpizzabros.com. Thanks for listening.